Hey, welcome to my mod garage. It's been a while since I posted anything up, so I figured it was about time. I've had a few of you guys net ask when I was going to put another one up, and um, I do got a GoPro, but haven't quite figured how all of it out yet. But once I do, it sure make things a lot easier. So once I get that up and that, we'll be set and go. So last I talked to you or left a message or my other video, and that was I pulled the 355 and that out of this. It was going into my Blazer and that, and once I get the heads done on it, then it will go in the Blazer. But finally I got this done. Had to do some work in that on the frame down here to get some room for the headers. Had to do some reinforcements on the motor mount up here. The bell crank down here for the clutch. There's a ball over here. Anybody knows about how these transmissions for any Saginaw 3-speed or Saginaw 4-speed. And you got this lever and that across here hooks into a ball. So I had to kind of shorten this up. And on these big blocks and that for oil pressure sending unit, it's got to go right back there. And it's right in line for where this here is. So I had to build the bracket kind of loop up and over so that way the oil pressure line can come out this way. So I got that fixed up. Other than that, I really haven't had to do anything else of really modifying. The Saginaw 4-speed, Saginaw 3-speed is what's in it. It has 373 gears. This baby's a ripper. I mean, I'm blown away of how much power in that it has. Not what I expected. The 355 had a lot of ump for it, but this is pretty good. The engine's been rebuilt, but I don't know how long ago. I've overhauled it. Everything looked good. So besides, it's got a thumper cam and that to it. But other than that, everything came out good. It's holding good temperature and everything. I am planning on changing this carb out. I prefer to get a 750 double pump Holly to get on there instead of the Elder block. This one here, I think it's about a 600. I have a 750. They both work okay, but they're just not the greatest net in the world. Not very responsive. Just kind of a little sluggish, but it does the job. The radiator in here came out of a Trans Am my dad put in here back when he had the 355 in here. The fan blade in there is, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, about a 5, maybe a 6 blade non-flex fan. But that's what was on the 350. That's what I decided to put on this and that. I have not did any driving long distance yet. I got to get tags and stuff in that on it. I got some real old tires in that on it. So it's still in the working stage and that of getting all the bugs and stuff worked out, but we're gradually getting there. I had to do some work on the brake lines down below. I had nicked them in that when I was doing the modifying on the frame. But other than that, everything is unbelievably great. If you've seen this line in that here, it had this line right here, that was used to have a trailer brake in that on it, so that stuff in that's all got to come off of it. I got 3-inch. They come all the way out to here. My plans is I want to bring this pipe, you can see the muffler kind of hanging down. I'm going to get it sucked up in there and then gradually bring the exhaust where it kind of comes out on the side of the bed, maybe a little bit further out that way. As you can remember in that, she's locked up. My plans in that is I wanted to hurry up and try to get this thing here done and out of the garage because I got a 71 Chevy Blazer in that I'm planning on trying to get some work in that done with it. So until I was able to get this done, kind of hard to get it done. But as you can see in that, it's got the notorious floorboards and that on this side are pretty bad. I might be able to get by with some floor patches and that on this. The other side's basically the same, but I will get to it. Got some work in that I got to do along the back of it. You know, these Pearl trucks and that, I mean, this belonged to my dad, and my dad he ran it to the hell and back. So and then as a kid and that, I was had a 30-06 and that, and I was shooting it and didn't realize in that the distance from the barrel and the scope, and it was 30-06 right through the bed. And then a car backed into the side of her, so I got some work in that there and that. Hate saying "and that" all the time, but it seems like I keep doing it. But other than that, it needs some better tires in that for it. We still got some few dents in that need to be done. I got a battery box. Probably I either got to look for a smaller battery or extend this battery box out. We will see when I get to that. But anyway, in that, I will pause this and that, and we'll fire her up and that so you can hear her. Hold on. That's about it there. But like I said in that, a lot of work. It's nice to see it finally done. So now it's kind of going to be on the list in that of I'm going to gradually work on it. But the good thing in that is at least it's a good runner. I can get out and drive it, get some miles in that on her, get all the bugs and stuff worked out of it, and hopefully in that we'll be able to get driving it normally and like an everyday driver. So here's the Blazer. We got her pulled up in here. I really wanted to do some better videos in that. I try to do videos of what I've progressed so far. I just didn't get into doing a video, like kind of more of trying to hurry up and get involved in that and see what all has to be done. So this is a 307 that's in here. This is not original. I had original 350 in here. I still kept the 350. It's a 4-bolt main. This was a 307 I put in here, and at the time in that I was planning on putting this 307 in here and run it for a while. I was told it was rebuilt. I don't know. But it's going to go out, and then the 355 that came out of the Jimmy is what's going to go into this. I'm going to do some double checking on the heads, see if maybe they put a bigger set of heads on this. I don't know. But we will find out. But this is where she sits. If you look back in one of my other videos, you'll see in that the floorboards, what the floorboards look like in this thing. And they were toast. They were really, really bad. So on the driver's side, we'll take a look here. That's what she looks like right now. I got knees. These things here are set up in that where you punch, you use a punch, then you use a drill, and these things here will drill out your spot welds, and then you kind of After you get them cut, then you should be able to pull the metal back. Believe it or not, all of this came out by just using an air chisel. And I got an old Harbor Freight air chisel here, and all I did was I took the end of it, sharpened it up where it was really sharp up here, allowed me to get right into the metal, sheet metal and everything and that on the front, or in between the sheet, the edges up in here. So I got it all out. It was pretty easy, as you can see. Wasn't too worried about what the metal was when it came out, because I got a full, complete floorboard for this. That's what I bought for it. Now, some of you would be saying, well, why didn't you buy individual sheets or individual patches? That would be okay if I had only holes in individual patches. This didn't. This has holes throughout all of it. There was holes through here. There was holes through back here where the seat was. Not so much in that where the center console was, but over there where the seat was, and on the Blazers and that, they roll backward or forward. Well, where it comes down and latches in, that would broke through the floor. And over there, same thing, holes all the way through. Now, this also belonged to my dad. And some of you in that have these Blazers with one-piece top, these tops here have a tendency of leaking. As you can see, the nice silicone, that's my dad's way of fixing things. Just silicone it, that stops it from leaking. Well, it did, but unfortunately, that stuff did not stop the rot down at the bottom here. Also, the mud, the dirt. My dad worked at a wood mill, so you get wood in here. It was just made a mess of everything. So it basically wiped out this whole floor. So I got it all out. These pieces here are, some call them rocker panels, some call them torsion boxes, whatever they are. But they're down in here, and they're welded up on the other side and that here, or latched in. Not sure how they're really in. Now, some of you would be saying, well, you should have had some braces across in here. Well, I thought about that, putting the braces in here, but I got reinforcements right here. As long as I don't pull this out, I'll be fine. Right at this point in time, there's no reason that I need to pull this out. So there really isn't much of any flexing. I mean, there's no flexing to any of this. So I don't see any of this stuff really moving at all. Now, I'll get you, if I had the top off, that you might probably get some flexing in that going on the front here. But with it bolted in, I don't see really needing reinforcement here or any type of stabilizing whatsoever. So, this is the driver's side, as you can see. This here is seized up. I got to work in that, try to get this out one way or another. I got up in here, as you can see, I got to replace up in here, get this all done, just taken care of. Do some work in that on getting this here reworked. Now, I got a full piece that comes all the way down to here, and then I also got the rocker panels that goes in. I also got the ones for the door too. I will show you all of that now when I get that part of the video. I'll show you in that right now of how much of a mess and that thing is. Down in here, there's some rot here. A lot of this and that's going to be a matter of I got metal, and I'm just going to build the stuff in that and make it. If you ever go over to, I think this guy's name is Fitzy's Fabrication. The guy's amazing in that too, because everything that he makes, he doesn't buy panels and stuff. He makes everything right out of his shop, and you sit and you watch how he does it. Yes, it might be a little bit more work in that to doing it, but then you know, you're building it yourself. You don't, if you can't afford to buy these panels and these pieces and that, it's one best thing. And then plus, if you're not in a big enough hurry, not in a big hurry, why not? So I got some working I got to do there. Do some cleaning across there, some cleaning on the frame, cleaning up here. That there looks like there might we got some holes in that through there. So I'm probably going to take this support out once I get that there out. A lot of these now I'm going to pull out, fix them up, re-weld them out, cut the pieces out, put new metal and stuff in, get it back where it looks like new, and then put it back in and weld her, and then get all that fixed up, and then get this over here fixed up. Looks like there's a little bit of a hole starting in there, but it never really got into the other side there. Looks pretty decent all the way through. All the way up looks pretty decent. No rotten. I do know I got to replace some hood pins. This side here, it got some work that has to be done right here in this corner, but I'm going to work on that one side at a time, gradually get things done. Now, one thing that did is that when I bought this floorboard, I bought it now without the brackets and that to it. So when you go to take yours out, you will have stuff like this here. This is for the seat belt. It's normally right around in here somewhere. So you gotta get all these things here pulled off, clean them up, get them nice looking good, and get them welded on the floorboard that you got outside. Now I did take a piece of notebook paper and that, and I did measure out from here out to where my bolts are and that for my seat and any other bolts holes. So I got them all measured out, but I also got ones like this one here. This is for the tunnel up here and that for the covering the transmission and part of the transfer case. So all your brackets and that. Then I also got ones and that in here for like your seat belts. This is a reinforcement and that on the floor. So you got some of this stuff in that you have to make sure that once you get that floor out, clean up your new one, get it down to bare metal, get these things cleaned up, get them welded on, and hopefully, and keep your fingers crossed, that the new floor net has the holes exactly where these are, and it goes together approximately that way. And get you, I'm all new at this. I don't, I'm just going by YouTube channels and that, other people in it are doing this. So I'm learning just from watching them and any information I get from everybody else. So, and then up here, of course, in that, I got to do some trimming here, do some trimming up in here, get this up. Everything in that, like I said, I'm all new at this, so everything in that I'm trying to do is a little bit at a time because I don't want to take away any more than I have to. That's the reason why I left a big lip here. Everything in that is just, I'm going to gradually cut and double check and make sure how my floor in that is, and make sure I have plenty of metal for doing that. So now the passenger side. So over here on the passenger side, same thing. Down in there needs to be redone. Got to redo the rocker panel there. Got to trim it all the way across up in there. This part here, not sure how that hole got there, but it's not a rust hole. Everything else looks pretty good. Got this, and I've also come to a conclusion, found out that this piece of metal that's in here, this is part of the whole floorboard. So it may have to come down to it where I may have to cut across here, cutting across up here, take this out because it needs to be replaced anyway. Get that other piece of metal in that out, get this out, then put the floorboard and stuff in that in, and then put this stuff in that in afterwards. Like I said, I'm playing this all by ear, just kind of everything is really basically by ear net. I'm just watching videos and trying to put things back together the same way in that I tore it apart, but in better condition. Gotta get that taken care of. The regular bolt and that, a lot of these and that just don't want to come out, but they will one way or another. The rocker, the torsion box, or whatever you want to call it, it's in pretty sturdy. Everything up in here looked pretty good. It came apart really good. I got to clean all this up and that. Anything like that there, I am going to go through and clean it. And if there's a rust hole, I will cut it and put a new piece of metal in the end. It won't look like, I mean, been watching Fitzy's fabrication a lot, and I'm not saying in that he makes it look simple, but he makes it in that where you can really do this stuff in that and kind of take pride in that and what you're doing, and just do it the best that you can in that. But by the time he's done, you wouldn't know any difference from it to one that you would have bought online. So that line there is kinked. That's not good. So that's how she looks. A lot of work. Like I said, in that here, like this in here, this is for the housing cover, and this here is underneath the seat here. I kind of got carried away, got cutting too far. Like these plates here, this is for the seat up here in the front, and so I got to get that all pulled out. So a lot of that I got to get done, but I will gradually get it done. Best in that is just to do, the best that you can, do a little bit at a time. Just don't get too damn carried away in that and cut too much out, because that's the biggest thing in that I see in a lot of people doing these floorboards or anything in that they'll cut too much out, and then they put the piece in and that, and here they got a huge gap that they're trying to weld up, and that can be a huge mess. Also in that, I've noticed in that a lot of people in that, in these videos in that when they're putting these sheet metal and stuff in, they have a tendency in that they use a lot of seam sealer and all that. I mean, get you in that, there's some sealer in there from the factory, that's for sure. But guarantee you in that it was mended down underneath with spot welds and that, and then seam sealer put in afterwards to cover that hole and that up. And what I'm seeing is, people in that when they're putting these pieces of metal in that together, they're literally leaving a huge gap. Where if you took this here and you put them together like that there, instead of getting them butted in and that and welding it up, they will just tack weld it and then seam seal it. And that's okay if you're wanting to flip it, and you don't care in that, what happens to it down the road. This used to belong to my dad, and I have pride in it, and I got a lot of sentimental, and I want to be able to get this thing back on the road, but I want to be able to make sure that it's going to be dependable, and I ain't going to have this thing ever rot out, and at least not in my lifetime, and be able to get things done where we can enjoy it. And but so far, this on the outside is all that, or inside it has to be done. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I have a Malamute net that when sirens come along and that, she starts howling. But anyway, as you can see along the side and that, my dad rolled it many years ago, and this was all caved in. So this is another project in that of figuring how I'm going to fix it. I seen a guy with a 70s model and that, he went along and he just went and he cut this all out, flattened it, got all the dents and stuff out, got everything all leveled off and that, and then he just put the new piece, the piece back in and welded it up, and by the time he was done and that, it looked pretty good with the original on there. But I'm not sure in that if I want to go to that extent. And as you can see, it's been a while. Hasn't ran in years. I'm I'm 50 years old right now, and those cherry bombs have been there ever since I was a kid and never been replaced. So that just to show you in that how long that they've been in there. These were an old set of buckshots that my dad put on it. Probably one of the very first ones, and he hated them. They didn't throw the mud very well. So, but I want to get white spokes put back on it. That's what my dad had on it. That's what I like. That or the old rallies. But this side here, as you can see, it's pretty decent all the way down. It's pretty smooth all the way down. As you can see in that in one of my other videos, there's a crack there, crack up there. The rest of the top looks pretty good. Sorry if you hear the dog. I'm trying to overrate her. But this side and that's pretty good. And then the back over here, that's pretty busted there. And up there. So if any of you in that's and then of course the tailgates got whacked there. So if any of you in that out there watching this and that knows anything about fiberglass, any type of info in that would greatly be appreciated. But anyway, that's where I sit right now. Oh, I'll show you all the sheet metal. So here's the floor. Hope you can see her. But yeah, this is it. I noticed in that it does got some holes. Hopefully they're everything that I need. So this is the main floor. Those ones there are for the door. And then the rocker panels. And then these pieces here were ones in that kind of came with the kit for this. In case you were replacing the rocker panels and these at the same time. And these here are actually what these things here are. So you don't have to, I'm going to just use the sheet metal from those to replace the parts that need to be, or any type of metal within the rig itself. And then my dad had a trailer hitch on the back. That's probably what did that many years ago. But, like I said in that, she's one in that I got to get working on, and I've been, I got to get her going in that, get things in that where I can be back driving it. This was my setup in that to be able to wheel her around. I put her up on, their 6-ton jack stands in that welted to a trolley, and she's sitting on those. And I'm able to just kind of move her around whenever I need to. The good thing in that is it helps me move her around in that inside the shop. So that way, because unfortunately the garage here don't give me much room. And between me working on it and then my son, he's working on his 79 Trans Am. 24 by 48 would be nice, but you deal with what you have. I would have had nice to have a shop in that where the roof was cut off and added to the ground over on the other side, making my shop bigger. But anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, I will keep up now on videos, hopefully. I like to be able to do videos and that where I can do a little, maybe some short segments a little bit at a time as I'm doing this. So that way you can see everything that I'm doing. Mine and that it's hard for me to try to film and try to do this and that at the same time as I'm working the metal and trying to get things in that work. And you get frustrated when you're trying to do this stuff and that. If you have somebody else in that can hold the camera and that, or knows how to do filming, it is another thing. But I'm a rookie at this, so. But anyway, I will try to keep up with the videos. so that way you can see what my progress is. These old trucks and that, like this Blazer and that, it's amazing and what the value and that they hold for them. So you got them and that, pull them out, get them fixed up. It's amazing value in that to them. If not money wise, sentimental wise. I was saying that when I was a kid and that, used to ride in it, so it's got a lot of sentimental. I'd love to be able to get it back going and that and running. I mean, the shocks had never been replaced on it. My dad never replaced them. As you can see, there ain't no whiteness left to it. There's only, I believe there's only one shock on the front here, I believe was replaced, and that was because he was up in the mountains and it busted. But never been replaced. Spring shackles, the bushings and stuff, all need to be replaced. I remember going down the road and that before we ever tore it down many years ago. When you turn, you can actually hear it clunk. So there is a lot that needs to be done to it, a little bit at a time. But the floorboards is a big thing, and I got to get that done and try to get all the rust in the oliver as much as I can, because once it starts, it can end up becoming more of a headache to try to get rid of if you wait too long. Some people now will just park these in the back for, I'll get to it when I get to it. Well, that's okay, but sometimes it's better off than that to either get to it or sell it to somebody that will, because once that rust gets in there and starts, oh God, it's crazy. And I live here at the coast, western coast and that, so living here and that, it rots everything, and if you got rust, it's going to eat it up. So you got to get that rust in it out, because once it starts, and with the salt water we got around here, it just eats them up, and it don't take long at all. So got to get that protective. I got gallons of stuff in that for protecting. So once I get this stuff in that, get all the rust in that out, she ain't gonna rust in that area, at least not in my lifetime. So anyway, that's the end of this video. I'll keep you posted. I'm trying to stay on top of things so that way all of you can see what's going on and keep these Blazers down the road. This is my mod garage saying, see you later for now. Thank you.